It's time for the best season of the year. I'm not talking about the holiday season. Instead, I'm talking about pumpkin pie season, which is by far my favorite season of the year. If I could have pumpkin pie every day for the rest of my life, I'd be a very, very happy Dan. Today's sponsor is Aunt Elsie's Able Skewer. You can check them out online at auntelsie.com. Aunt Elsie's makes a bunch of different products to help you make Able Skewer, which are these spherical pancakes that we covered in a previous episode of WTF. The kits that they put together to make Able Skewer at home are really festive. They're perfect gifts for the holidays, and they are having a big sale on Cyber Monday, which is this upcoming Monday. Any order over $75 will receive free shipping, which is a really great deal because all the stuff that they make is cast iron, so it's super, super heavy. If you can avoid those shipping fees, which are pretty costly, you're going to save yourself a pretty penny. Check them out online at auntelsie.com. Get your hands on some of their Able Skewer pans and kits today for yourself and for your loved ones. Alright, so it is autumn time, so it's time to talk about things that are autumnal, like pumpkins. Now, a lot of you have seen a pumpkin before. Maybe you even touched one, or perhaps even carved one. What you might not know is that the pumpkin is in the squash family. That's the same family that brought you the zucchini, the summer squash, and the attractive one in the bunch, the gourd. The word pumpkin comes from the Greek term for large melon, though it is not a melon at all. Generally, it has a pretty distinct color to it. It's usually an orange or yellow. It's ribbed on the exterior. It has a pretty tough exterior, a good amount of meat on the inside, and a lot of seeds and pulp in the very center. Now, pumpkins are really all about fun. I would say that they're probably the most fun fruit in the world. You can do a lot of fun things with pumpkins, like carve them into faces of people throwing up. You can decide that you're going to build trebuchets and air cannons to launch pumpkins really far. There are pumpkin growing competitions to see who can grow the largest pumpkin, and there are even bands of people called the Smashing Pumpkins. Fun fact, the world's largest pumpkin ever grown was grown by a guy named Chris Stevens. It came in at a whopping 1,810 pounds. Now, in the kitchen, pumpkins are used a lot. You can pickle the rinds, you can braise or roast or make pumpkin pie out of the inner flesh. The seeds can be toasted and snacked on the way that you'd snack on something like popcorn. You can even extract the oil from the seeds and create a pumpkin seed oil. Très chic. My favorite way of consuming pumpkins, as I said, is pumpkin pie. I think that is the superior vessel and mode of consumption for the pumpkin, and if I could have them every single day of my life, I would. Fun fact about me, seriously, I've had instances where at midnight I've left the house to find a place to get a pumpkin pie. It's that much of an addiction for me. Today I'm going to show you how to make the pumpkin pie recipe that my girlfriend Miko has been making a lot, that was adapted from a Cook's Illustrated recipe. I think it's the best one that I've had to date. First we have to make the pie crust, and first you have to set the stage for the pie crust making. Measure out 2.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. Whisk it together to combine. Then prep by cutting and weighing 4 ounces of lard and 1 stick of butter into small nubs. Also pour a glass of ice water and get that ready. Now sprinkle the fats over the flour and use your hands or a pastry cutter to pinch and break up the fats into pea-sized bits. Work quickly and try not to let it get too warm. Now pour some of the ice water and start to fold with your hands to incorporate it, adding more ice water just until the dough holds together. You want to use the minimum amount of ice water possible. Now separate this into 2 balls and wrap them separately in plastic wrap. Flatten the balls into discs and stack them in your fridge. Meanwhile, we make the pie filling. In a bowl, whisk 1 cup of heavy cream with 1 cup of whole milk. Add 3 eggs and 2 egg yolks, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Whisk together to combine. In a pan, combine 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree, 1 cup of candied yams, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of maple syrup, 2 teaspoons of grated ginger, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a little bit of ground nutmeg, and a teaspoon of salt. Bring to a simmer while smashing the yams against the side of the pan for about 15 minutes or so until it's thick and shiny. Meanwhile, roll out your pie dough, add it to a pie tin, weigh it down, and pre-bake in an oven at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. Remove your filling from the heat and mix it into the bowl with your other ingredients. Then strain the entire mixture into a new bowl, and the resulting mix should be super smooth. Pour the pie filling into your pumpkin pie shell and bake at 400 degrees for 10 minutes, then reduce the heat to 300 degrees and continue cooking for about 20 to 40 minutes longer. The edges of the pie should be set, the middle still just a little bit wiggly. Take it out, let it set for about 2 hours, and you'll be good to go. So that is how to make the ultimate pumpkin pie. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Thank you for watching the show and supporting this endeavor. I'm glad that you're all enjoying the content that I am putting out. Have a great Black Friday. Have a good saving full Cyber Monday. Check out onelsy.com. Get your discount on their Able Skeever pans on Monday, Cyber Monday. And as always, thanks for watching the show. Tune in next week for another WTF.